Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to another Crypto Maniacs podcast. And I am roasting. The task made fun of me the other day because I was complaining about the heat, and he's like, "I'm in Florida, man. Like it's 1,000 degrees here all the time." Well, right now it's 41 degrees Celsius. I think that's about 115 Fahrenheit, give or take, 120. So apologies for the sound in the background. That's the fan of my truck kicking in every 2 seconds to cool down because it's so dang hot where I am. I'm actually outside of Indianapolis, the thriving metropolis of Indianapolis. Have you been to Indianapolis, Task?
No,
No. Okay.
no. I've never been in Indiana,
Where,
never been to the whole state.
where have you been in America? I find that interesting. Most Americans don't really go to other states.
Well, there's 50
generally.
of them.
Well, yeah, but like
I mean, I've been to, you know, Hawaii, I've been to California, I've been to Arizona, I've been to Texas, I've been to all over the Southeast, I've been to all over the Northeast, I've been to Michigan, I've been to Illinois. I mean, it's,
Did you drive across the Mackinac Bridge?
no.
I did. I just did. I did a video about it yesterday. It's Adventures of Trucking. I'm streaming this on Facebook because all of my Facebook friends said they were really interested in my trucking videos. No one on Hive seems to care, but that's okay. But my friends and family like it, so Tass, it's good content, man. Anyways,
Hey, I think post it on Free Speak.
that's all I do. Yeah, I thank you, Eliana.
If we get shorts on Leo, take quick shorts as you're going over a bridge and post it on there. I think it's great.
Absolutely. Speaking of Leo, you and I had some fun last night because I shut down really early yesterday, so I had time to play around on Threads, and it blew my mind to see. Well, you being up on the leaderboard is nothing new, but I was actually on the leaderboard. I'm sitting there scratching my head going, I drive 13 hours a day and I still find time to get on the leaderboard on Threads. What's everyone else's excuse? I'm trying to find out because I'm literally, and it's not, I'm just driving for 13 hours. My work day is, I only sleep about 7 hours a night. All the other time I'm working. So I still find time to do this show. I find time to get on Threads. What's the excuse? Like, what is it? Is it just am I missing something? Hi, John.
I think it's the same thing we've talked about. People don't treat it like a business. You know, people talk a big game, but they're full of shit. They don't show up, they don't put up, and they want everything handed to them. And that's not the way the fucking world works. That's not the way nature works. That's not the way the universe works. And if you're not going to put in the effort, you know, and I joked about us buying Leo, and it's like, you know, what will we hear if the price moves? Oh, you guys were lucky.
You guys were lucky. You got in when it was so cheap. You're lucky.
Yeah. And it's like, there's plenty of people who would, why aren't they buying now? You know, it's like, oh, because it might go down more. I mean, it's just the same shit over and over and over again. And it's like, at the end of the day, if you want to reap the rewards, you better fucking do something. And if not, shut the fuck up, because at the end of the day, you get exactly what you deserve. And if you get zero, that's because you put in zero. It's that plain and simple. And, you know, I understand if you don't have resources. If you don't have resources, get busy. You know, start typing away. Start making videos and post them on Free Speak. Post, you know, threads. Do your daily post on, you know, Peak D or Leo Finance or Ecency or whatever the heck you do. And, you know, work your ass off to build the business. That's what it requires. And, you know, we have a cancerous, and it's not just on Hive, it's throughout society. We got a cancerous mindset that, oh, well, those who are successful, they're just lucky. They stole from others. No, most successful people work their ass off. Oh, Elon Musk, he's this, he's that. The fucking guy works 120 hours a week. How many people work 120 hours a week? Now, I'm not saying anybody has to work 120 hours a week, and I'll be the first to admit that's pretty excessive.
Right.
But what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I work 40 hours. Who gives a shit? John works 13-hour shifts. And then he does his, he sleeps and he does everything else in the rest of the time. And that's what it takes. You want to make it, you better start doing what successful people do. And that's not sitting there playing on Twitter all day. I mean, if you're a tremendous influencer on Twitter, great. But most of us aren't. And if you're going to sit on Discord all day, that's not where it's at. If you're going to watch, whatever, YouTube videos, cat videos, if you're going to watch, Desperate Housewives, that's not where it's at. You come home from work, I understand. So you better bust your ass. I worked, my first 3 years on Hive, I had a full-time job. And I was in sales, so it was never like just 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, But I still found time to get my posts up, to get my shit done. And people say, oh, you're an AI. Task is an AI. Task is a machine. No, Task just is dedicated to getting the shit done. And I have a to-do list every day, and I go and do it. It's that simple. Decide to do it and do it. Period.
I threw this on Threads last night. I found it when I was, and it was actually on Twitter, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I don't know what the book was from. It was a football guy I follow. He tweeted it out, and he says, often I come across people that say they want it bad, but their actions don't show it. Talk is cheap. Your effort level will always prove your intentions. If you want it bad enough, you will do what it takes. No excuses, no complaining, no blaming. I saw that, dude. I had to throw it on Threads because of we were going back and forth talking about what the hell are the excuses here? Like, I don't get it. And, going back and it's interesting that Eliana and John are watching live right now because they've known me for, decades now. And I used to get really, and John will kind of laugh because he'll probably remember this. I used to get visibly frustrated with certain people at our seminars because I would sit there and go, what are you doing? Why aren't you doing this? And they would say things like, oh, I work and you don't know what it's like. And you know what? I didn't. I worked from home for 25 years. So now that I'm working, it's like, okay, well, maybe, this stuff is hard for people. It is hard. But you know what? You make time for what matters. And what matters to me is to stack this stuff now and do everything I can to stack it now and not worry about.
Your goal now is to get out of a fucking job.
Right,
That's
exactly.
why you work your ass off outside work hours, is to get out of work hours, to get out of work. I told Tokenize, good evening. He just jumped into the comments on our feed here.
Yeah.
And he's not listening to me, I guarantee you. But him and I had a conversation a couple weeks back, and I said to him, we were talking about it, and it was kind of a joke. He's like, yeah, I had these memes cutting into my thread time. I said, yeah, that work shit will cut into. He's like, I know, I got to get in position to get out of this. I said, you got a year. And he laughed, and he's like, I no, you have a year. A year from today, Tokenize, you're out of your job. Write it down, make it a goal, and do whatever the fuck you have to do to get out of that job within 1 year. That's what you do. There was, I saw an article on Hacker Noon today, John, and I put it on Threads. It was about the burning of the boats. That old story of the military leader. They landed on the island, and the first thing he did is he had his guys burn the boats, meaning we're either going to go get slaughtered or we're going to win, but there ain't no turning back. That's what you have to do, is you have to burn the boats and say, I'm going in on this business. I'm going to make this a business. See, he said burning my boats. He probably started the article. And it's like, I'm going to do everything that a year from now, it's done. It's over. I'm not in a job. or whatever the goal is. Losing weight, it's the same for everything. It's not anything novel. I want to develop a business that does $1 million a year in revenue. Fine. I want to lose 50 pounds. Fine. I want to do this. I want to, bench press 300 pounds. Whatever the hell the damn goal is, burn the bridges, burn the boats. And it's no different with Hive. And it's like, well, everybody thinks I'm lucky. Well, I didn't show up here, John. Like, I showed up here with less than you had. You had online experience, but I had no following. I had no friends on there. I showed up, it was just me. I mean, I found Hive through another gathering, and somebody just mentioned it. And I'm like, okay. And I've never seen those people again. And I've never seen them online. So, but I joined Hive. A day later, I got my account, and I just started from there. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any following. I didn't have a whole lot of money to invest either. And even then, when you and I were first starting to buy Hive, I mean, we were paying $1.25 a token, a coin.
I wish, dude. We were $4 or $5 a pop.
Well, I wasn't buying it.
Dude, I was buying at the top because I was like, I believe in this, and that's when I knew, like, I'm definitely not in this for the price, because it went down and it continued to go down, and it's basically been going down since I started.
So it's your fault.
I still think that $5 was a steal per Hive. To this day.
Well, I mean, because you've over the last 5 years, you're not at even, but I mean, you've averaged it down so much, getting your 10, 12%. I mean, you at least cut it down some. And plus the influence you got and stuff like that helps, and showing that commitment, and then you've gotten rewards. So you're probably ahead of the game, maybe not. You're probably ahead of the game financially, because you may not have gotten some of the votes or the rewards you would have gotten if you, hadn't purchased that, had that stake. There's a lot of variables that go into this. That's why having HP can only work to your benefit. It cannot work to your detriment.
That's like, I did a big, huge boost in my delegation to Leo Voter, yesterday. And the reason I did that is because I have HP, and I can delegate to projects I believe in. And here's the kicker. Not only do they win, I win, because I'm helping the community and I'm getting Leo. I'm going to get my first payout today. I can't wait to see what I'm going to get. So,
and your delegation, that you still own it. So you still have the spec. I mean, if it goes from 30 cents to 70 cents, it's still your HP.
Still mine. Yep.
So,
no, it's great. Yeah. Dude, it's fantastic. Dude, should we talk to people's questions or what? Like, holy geez,
who cares about them? No, I mean, let's get the questions, see what they are. I haven't looked at them. I think we did have a good turnout, though.
We had a great turnout on Tuesday.
I'm sure Tokenize, he's in the room. I'm sure he dropped a couple questions.
Well, he starts us off tonight. He says, hello, Maniacs. What is your take on the recent talks about reducing HBD interest? I have not heard of this. This is news to me. Is this a rumor? Is there facts to it?
Well, it seems like there's conversations going on, and I think, probably somebody else asked. There's talks of reducing the author rewards by 10%, taking that and pushing that towards inflation and reducing HBD. So I think, reduce HBD to like 12%. And this is, just more bullshit tokenomics. That's all they're trying to do. They want to get the price of Hive up, so they're trying to say, oh, okay, well, let's push people into Hive. Instead of trying to build something and give people a reason to have it. And yes, I understand, you increase the yield, maybe more people hold it, but it's just bullshit tokenomics, and it's lazy, and it's not addressing core issues. And,
that's stupid. That is dumb. That doesn't attract anyone.
No, it doesn't attract anyone. I mean, adding 10%, if you take 10% from the authors and put it on the inflation, what are you going to push that up to? 4%, 5% maybe? Is anybody going to buy in Stake Hive for 5%? No. No, they're not. Anybody from outside of Hive? No. Nobody outside of Hive is buying HBD for 20%. And the HBD is no threat to Hive. So I'm in what you said. It's stupid. It's again the same shit people do in cryptocurrency. It's the same shit people do let's be honest, most of our developers are coders. I don't talk about and tell people how to create programs, but these people think they know money and they don't. And it's just tokenomics. And these people try to design systems that always fails. Instead of saying, how do we build shit that actually attracts people and where we have to stake Hive because of access, and let's build layers of access, they want to do this shit. Instead of building out a financial network that'll draw people in, that you can have people staking this stuff, no, let's just, add 2 points or 1.5 points to, the inflation adjustment on HP. And of course, I think at the root of this is just them to benefit themselves. Because if I had 1 million HP, you add another 2%, that's paying, 20,000 extra HP out to me a year.
I've heard this speech before. The let's take away from the authors. I've heard this probably for the past 4 years now. Like, let's take away from the. Listen, again, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Obviously, I've kind of failed at life recently, so don't take my advice for everything. But here's something I do know. When you take things away from people, no matter how you try to spin it, you're still taking it away. It's the whole reason why I've been very much like, if I don't just gonna move, I'm not gonna downvote it. I'll downvote the spam and I'll downvote the abuse, but I'm not going to downvote something because you're taking it away. And that's not taken away until the 7 days up. Whatever way you want to spin it, every time you take something away, no matter what you think, if someone thinks they're being taken from, that's not a good thing. And this is where this comes in, this whole let's take away rewards. We did this for years in online business. I'd always say we got to give more. Don't take away. Oh, well, this was the industry's doing this. We should take things away so we can. No. How about we give more value? Give more. Don't take. And just like you said, stop worrying about what's currently here. What currently here works really, really well. You need to build the better mousetraps, the apps. That's what needs to be the focus, not the damn tokenomics. Like, holy jeez. I can't believe, well, actually I can believe that this is still a topic in 2023, taking away from author reward. I'm just drinking my Pilot Flying J coffee. Tasty.
You were the one who wanted to get into questions.
I know. I'm fired up. Thank you, Tokenized, for firing us up, man. This is great.
Yeah,
also,
blame Tokenized.
I know I'm blaming definitely. Also, someone hinted that the idea of reducing post rewards by 10% and reallocating to Hive power inflation. What do you guys think about that? Well, we just talked about that.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
I think it's dumb. I'm not even going to give that dumb a capital D. I'm going to keep it small d. Okay? Not capital D. That's dumb small d. Like, just, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyways. I'm fired up. Who's winning the Super Bowl? Here we go. This is a real good question, Tokenized. I like it. My heart will always say Buffalo, but reality is that they'll probably lose in the first round of the playoffs. I don't know, man. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. This isn't really a limb, and Task might hate this, but I think Philly, Cincinnati will be the final, and I can see Philly winning it. I don't think Cincinnati will get over the hump yet, but man, their stadium is awesome. I drove by it yesterday and drove by it today. Whew!
So you're picking Cincinnati because of their stadium?
Well, no, I'm not picking because Joe Burrow. I'm picking Cincinnati because of Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is an amazing quarterback. Like I got Josh Allen.
Well, the guy in Missouri is pretty good too.
Yeah, he is. But see, like this is the thing. You want to tier quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes is the top. He's the top dog. And no, I don't care what fan base you are, you can't deny it. Patrick Mahomes is the top of the food chain of NFL quarterbacks. Tier 2, that's where you get the Joe Burrows, the Josh Allens. I don't know why Justin Herbert gets thrown in there. What has he done? Like, what has Justin Herbert done?
Herbert, I mean, he doesn't have much of a team there from what I can see, but he's coming on. He's a surprise.
Yeah, well, but Jalen Hurts, I think Philly wins. I think Philly would win it because Philly is like got pretty much the perfect roster. Defense, offense.
They have a hell of a defensive line. You better be able to block to stop them.
Yeah, man. And just
they loaded up the first 2 rounds of the draft. They got more pass rushers.
Oh yeah.
Like they didn't have enough.
No, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I who's winning the Super Bowl? I'm gonna say I think it'll be Cincinnati, Buffalo in the AFC Championship, and I think Cincy wins. That's our new arch nemesis.
Buffalo ain't getting the AFC Championship.
Oh, we got to lose.
You're sniffing the truck fumes. Open the damn window.
If I open it, you know how much? You know all these random rant. You know what truck stops smell like in the parking lot? Piss. Pee.
Yeah, that's probably.
These guys sit there with their piss jugs and dump them out on the it's hot and it's just disgusting. Guys, there's a little grass over there. Truckers, there's a little grass. Be like a dog. Go pee on the dump the pee in the grass. Okay. Random rants. I'm on fire today, man. Thank you, Tokenize. You started this. Tokenize totally started this. Happy 411.
He put you in a bad mood. It's all Tokenize.
I'm in a good mood, man. I'm in a good mood. I just heard from Dispatch. I get to go home next week, so I get time at home next week. That's exciting. So, happy 411. Hello, Maniacs. Hello. Please, can you highlight some caution to be taken in cryptocurrency investments to avoid fraudulent schemes? Pretty much everything. If you don't do yeah, no, seriously, like I'm not even trying to be funny. Like if you don't do your own research and if you don't believe in something and you took your advice from some jackhole on Twitter or a TikTok video, you deserve to get schemed. Why am I in Hive? Am I invested in Hive? Yeah, time invested, but it's also out of every single crypto that's out there, it fits exactly what I'm looking for. So for me, that's what I invested in, my time and my money. So for me, it was Hive because of it fit me perfectly. What fits you might be different. What fits Task might be different. But if you're getting your investment advice from TikTok videos or YouTube shorts,
or 3Speak videos for that matter.
3Speak videos would John go in Taskmaster. I mean,
I'm not telling you what to invest in. It's just presume if you're going to trade something, fine. You get in, you get out for a quick hit. But I mean, if you're looking for stuff long term, you better stick with reputable stuff, and that's your major stuff, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your stuff that's been around. And stuff that you have project teams that are doing shit. Even on Hive, you better know who you're investing in. And, the reason why I've been streamlined, John started to streamline this year, is because A, you can't go into too many different directions, but B, there's projects showing up. I don't know about the projects, but even more importantly, I don't even know who the hell's behind the project on Hive. And I'm not saying anything against that. It's just I'm not going to jump into it, simply because there's a new game or a new this. I have no idea who's behind it. And you could have rug pulls on Hive just like you do anywhere else.
Yep.
Less likely, but it's still possible. It has happened. Um, so you just have to be very careful, and of course, money and risk management. I mean, if you are going to go into something that's uncertain, make sure it's only a small portion of your holdings.
Yeah, it's funny, and again, not financial advice, but I remember when I first got like the bug. This is when I first joined Steam. That's the bull run was starting in 2017, but there was some really good advice that I did see, and this was a question that came up: what should I invest in? And it was one of the influencers. He's not around anymore. He was actually a really smart dude. I don't know what happened to him, but he basically said, treat investing in cryptos like you would if you were diversifying your portfolio and you wanted to readjust and always look every quarter at stuff. So what he did was he did a big pie chart, and he said, here's where most of my allocation goes. And it was the gold standards. It was the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the Litecoins. It was the blue chip stocks, let's say.
Yes.
And then he took like 15 or 20% for just what you said, Tass, play money. The penny stocks, the super potential, the ones that might moon. But if it goes to zero, most of your money's in Bitcoin and stuff. Now, I'm not saying that's the way to do it by any stretch, because look at me, I'm like basically all in on Hive. But that was an angle that made sense to me. So he just dollar cost averaged, and he took every dollar, he allocated like 50% of it to Bitcoin, 25% of it to Ethereum, 5% to Litecoin, and then the remaining 20 or 30%, it was just like, potential. But that's what he did. So something like that. But yeah, no TikTok advice, please. Cows up. How do you guys feel about the news that Robinhood has accumulated $3 billion in Bitcoins in 4 months? Kind of what I just said. Like we talked about this on Tuesday, right? Like, I mean, Bitcoin is still the store of value, the granddaddy, the one that will always be known as crypto, right? When people say crypto, they think Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, and it's being hijacked. I mean, this doesn't surprise me. And Cal, what do you think's going to fucking happen once J.P. Morgan or once Fidelity starts getting into this mess, and once they start, being able to custodian Bitcoin? What do you think is going to end up in their hands? This is the problem, and if you have an inkling of monetary history, you quickly understand fixed money always pools. And that's Bitcoin. And now you have an exchange, Robinhood, which, okay, that's not getting the big money players, I don't think, like the big boys will. But you have a bunch of people custodying their Bitcoin on Robinhood. And, Robinhood's become a very popular app, especially among younger people who are going to be crypto enthusiasts. So it doesn't surprise me. The problem is counterparty risk. And, Robinhood, what happens if they go under? I mean, that's it. It's the same story over and over and over again. So it doesn't surprise me. And they're a small fish. And wait till the big fish come in. They're going to make Michael Saylor look like a flea on the butt of a dog. I mean, they're going to be coming in, and you'll see BlackRock, you'll see Fidelity. I mean, you think, what number did he say? How many billions?
$3 billion worth of Bitcoin.
How many?
It's how much. $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. So
yeah, they'll be buying that in a couple days. Those other entities. So.
Dude, like, this is all done by design. Like, all of these, like, I still say this now. This is conspiracy theory 101, but I think that these guys, the powers that be, the higher ups, know that Bitcoin is going to be big and very important in the future. So they're going to tank prices, create some FUD, get their buddies Gensler and all that to create the FUD everywhere, and then they'll just start stashing it. they'll just start buying it up, buying it off of little poor schmucks like you and me, Task, who sell our Bitcoin because it went red for a month. I'm going to sell. It's going to zero, and who's going to eat it up? Robinhood. And just like you said, wait until BlackRock gets into it. Wait till Fidelity gets into it. And it's $3 billion a day. Like it's,
Yeah. I mean, that's you got $10 trillion asset under management. 1% of that, 2% is still a very big number.
Yep. Crazy. He follows that up with, have you guys seen the Leo Finance DHF proposal? We only need about 1.2 million HP to vote at 5% to get over the line and to be funded. Yeah, I saw that. Not convinced. Put it on Threads last night. It was over 25 million. Pretty cool, man. I really hope Leo gets it, just to stick it to the negative Nancy's, man. I want to see them get it just for that, because this is the thing. It's not going to stop Leo, right? Like it's not like Cal's not going to go, oh, well, I give up because I didn't get funded. It's
no.
So
no, he's not. But I think the lesson here is for all of Leo people, you better start paying attention and getting some HP. If Leo wants to be a serious player, it better get some influence. And 25 million is impressive, but it doesn't get it done. Right. So Leo better get 35, 40 million HP under its control. And when I say Leo, I'm not talking the Leo account. I'm talking just Leo Finance people, right. The community. Whatever the community is defined at. And it's going to have to be the smaller people. I mean, as we've said, John, you can't go from 100 to 200,000 HP very easily. No. It's hard to go from 100 to 150,000. But somebody can go from 200 to 300 HP fairly easily.
Yep, exactly. Do that 10,000 times.
Yeah, and if a lot of people do that, then suddenly you have it's starting to add up. But that's where the community has to flex its muscles.
Okay. Renee's watching on Facebook. She said she's still holding. That a girl. There you go. See? That's the thing about CTP, man. We're a stubborn bunch. We stay to it. We stick to this stuff. Going down with the ship, baby. Yeah, let's go. Luchill has got a couple questions. Why do you think most people are yet to adopt Web3? I think it's because, two reasons. One, Grandma is not sharing her cookie recipe on Web3. So if Grandma's not there, Uncle Bob isn't there, Cousin Jim's not there, a.k.a. the family is not there. That's number one. Two, aren't they there? Because it's not as easy as like Leo's working on it for sure, but click to join. What the hell's a memo key? Like, no one wants to know. No one cares. It's decentralized. No one cares. They don't care. They really, honest to goodness, don't care. You know what they care about? Where's Grandma's cookie recipe? That's what they care about. So when Grandma starts sharing her cookie recipes on Leo and on Peak D, then it's going to take off. But until then, now there's things that need to get done, and I'm sure this is ad nauseum. We've talked about it, but that's the big reason. The big reason is because their friends and family aren't here yet. There has not been that killer app that makes Grandma join yet. So that's my opinion.
The problem isn't Grandma. The problem is we don't even have the millennials. We don't have Gen whatever the fuck they're called. Gen Z, Gen whatever. Alpha, whatever. We don't even have them. So it's just part of the adoption curve. I mean, I don't know what people expect. It's like the problem is this is playing out in front of everybody. The internet did not play out in front of everybody. But if you notice, in 1993, most people were not on Prodigy or CompuServe. Now, those were the two leading platforms, and I guess AOL snuck in there at some point too. And so
I was on CompuServe.
So you start looking even at like 96, there was not a lot of people on the internet. And, so the idea that this is going to take off from nothing and that's what it was in 2009 was really nothing. to, what are we, 13, 14 years later. And, not a lot happened for the first few years. I mean, it just takes time. And we have infrastructure problems. And quite frankly, cryptocurrency doesn't offer solutions. Blockchain doesn't offer solutions for the average person, for most of the world. Because what does most of the world have to do to get involved in cryptocurrency? Buy in. You just took most of the world and just you excluded them because they don't have any money to buy in. And that's where Hive is different. But of course, we know the problems with Hive and the fact that, we don't have that killer DAO. And, instead of figuring it out, we want to play with the tokenomics.
Oh, ain't that the truth? She follows that up with, what's your take on the plan of Leo Finance to get newbies on board Hive through Hive Lite and then get them to learn more about Hive after some weeks?
That's a good idea.
It's funny. I talked to a guy that was on the block. He's still on the blockchain, but he does a lot of stuff with Binance and stuff these days. But he actually sent me a note, and he's like, dude, whatever happened to that onboarding tool that you have? Do you still have it, the Hive Guide? And I was like, yeah, I sent him a link and everything. And obviously, I'm a huge fan of letting people learn this stuff. Now, the Hive Guide is not on the blockchain. It's just teaching people about the blockchain. But if Leo's doing what I think they're going to do, it's going to help more people get their hands dirty, like roll up their sleeves and play with this stuff and learn it. That's what needs to happen for quote unquote newbies. They need to actually experience it. Not just like you said, Taz, buy it.
You didn't learn about a web browser by reading a manual. You open up the web browser and you press buttons.
Yeah, web crawler.
Yeah.
That was my first browser. Yeah. I didn't even know what the hell it was. Like, there was no instruction, man. There was no Google back then.
Yeah.
You had to figure it out. And that's where we're at now with this Web3 stuff and the Hive and the Leo stuff, but it's going to get better.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I don't care how much you simplify. You got two choices. Either you fucking learn about keys or you give your custody over to somebody who understands keys, which means not your keys, not your crypto. So those are the two basic facts of where people are going to have to decide where they fall. And you cannot, if you're going to have a key system, which that's what crypto is, and you're tying to it account ownership, NFTs, social media, all this stuff, they're going to have to learn keys, or they're going to have to give their power over to other people. And they're used to giving their power over to other people, but that's going to get very dangerous as things keep progressing, in my opinion.
There's so many cool marketing ideas I'd have for promoting why you want keys and stuff and teaching people. Anyways.
Well, you just have to talk about your experience with PayPal. I mean, what happens when everybody has their social media account, which many people have had their social media accounts zapped, but it's not just a social media account. Now it's like your PayPal account. Now your business is tied to it. Now you have NFTs and assets in there and game pieces that because Elon wanted to kick you off, or because Zuckerberg or whoever has that wallet kicked you off, guess what? You're fucked. You're screwed. You're separated from your money.
Yep.
Have fun. And, that's what it's going to get to. And maybe at some point you'll get legislation that'll protect you from that. But you know what? The first 50,000 people will have their nuts in a ringer before the legislation even starts to be talked about.
I love it. I love that, the cry wolf stuff that, I want decentralization. Oh, my keys got stolen. I don't. It's whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
DeFi's great. Then he got a rug pull. Oh, we need to regulate this. Shut the fuck up.
I know. It's amazing. Eric Burgoyne, friend of the show. Have you heard of the pimp token? It's related to the Cummy token, apparently. I got some of that just showed up in my Hive Engine account. I think the pimp token is run by Ingenuity. Good guy, man. Witness. He's been on the blockchain basically since day one. Met him in Poland, so he's a real dude. I think he's the brain behind that. I think it's just a tipping token. I'm not totally sure about it, but I think it's Ingenuity who runs it, and I think it's just a tipping token. So you might have got pimped. No,
I have no idea.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. And Tokenize says that's an important point. After I hit my Leo goal for the year, I will put a lot of focus on building up my HP. I like it.
well,
HP is
and there's
yes,
another piece, Tokenized, and everybody's listening. There's another piece to this puzzle is building the value of the layer two and it being reflected by the market in the value of the token, the layer two token. Then the layer two token can be utilized to acquire base layer coins. So, what does it look like if Leo, the Leo token is worth $2? Well, suddenly, and it of course will depend on what the price of Hive is. But if the price of Hive is, let's say, $1, then for every Leo, you're basically getting 2 Hive for every Leo. And, that's the other thing that people need to do is they need to look at both aspects. And, if you do take some money off the table, let's say of Leo, well, where are you putting it? Instead of running the Bitcoin,
right.
power up some Hive, add to your Hive stake and then put that to work, as a way of diversification, for lack of a better word, as a way of taking your profits, putting it in Hive. These are ways that the community has to start thinking and start looking for opportunities to build their influence. And it really, that's all it comes down to. It's a stake weight system. If you don't like it, get more stake. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's
And
real
I think
simple.
one of the beautiful things, you mentioned this, and it really got me thinking too. It's like, like how do most people get into crypto? Buy it. So that takes away a bulk of the population of the world. Well, Hive is different. Yeah, you can buy it, and that's fun and dandy and everything, but you can also earn it, and you can earn it multiple ways. It's not just writing, but just like you said, once you start earning it and you start learning what HP does, then the floodgates open. You start getting these light bulbs, and I've seen it over the years. A lot of the CTP people, they join, they're completely new. They're like, oh, I don't, what is this? Is crazy. Oh, well, CTP says it's good, so I'll start learning it. And then the light bulb goes off, and they get it, and they're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. That's the exact same feeling I had. Once you understand what HP can represent, it's like, oh, I go and give people vote. Yeah, cool. That's just a part of it. Curation is just a part of what you can do with HP. Delegation is like the gift that keeps on giving. It allows you to become an angel investor, a venture capitalist in any project you want on the blockchain, and you still own all of your funds.
Mm-hmm.
Like let that really marinate for a minute. No, you don't need a accredited investor. You don't need a certain level of assets to get into this. You don't need to have, inside trading secrets on Wall Street. You just build your HP, and then you can start delegating and investing in projects. You might get returns for it. You're helping out the project. Yeah, HP will change your life. It really will. So.
Yeah, it's, if to start, it's gives you access. So if you don't have enough HP to even engage, you got to build that up. But, it's, if you want to make a difference, if you want to have some influence, if you want to have some say, all the bitching about the whales is just bullshit. You want to be a whale? Buy enough HP. I don't have money. Well, that's your fucking problem. I mean, I don't have enough money to become a whale either. That's my problem. I can't go and become a whale. And so, the situation is, this is a stake weighted system. And, people can talk about it like we saw with the Leo proposal. Oh, the whales aren't supported. So what? We don't have enough HP to get over the finish line ourselves. That's our problem. That's not on the whales. They don't have to like what we're fucking doing. That's our problem. Take fucking responsibility for yourself. And if your HP is empty, why is it empty? What the hell have you been doing? Fix it. And, this goes to all of us. And, it's like we were started the show. You have little time these days, and you're number 35. And you're asking, what the hell is everybody else doing?
Yeah,
exactly. What the hell is everybody else doing? What the hell you been doing?
Yeah.
And I know this falls on deaf ears. And the people who agree with me that it doesn't fall on deaf ears, they're the ones doing it anyway. Tokenize is the one here every week. Tokenize is the one I see on the blockchain. Tokenize is working a full-time fucking job. But you know what? I see him on the blockchain. I see him engaging. I know he's involved in some of the games. This guy's out there. He's involved with the Brazilian community and the podcast they do, or the streaming they do. He's involved. And I know this guy works full time. Hell, he comes on the thread and says, I've had 3 meetings and it's only 11 o'clock and it's a waste of time, but I got to be in these meetings.
Yep.
So forget me. Forget you, John. How about Tokenize? Follow Tokenize, what he's doing. He works full time.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes. And he's made a commitment to get out of a job. He don't want to be in a job. He knows Hive has the opportunity to get him out. How it's going to do it, I don't know. You need to strategize on that. But, one of the first things is it's going to require showing up, getting active, starting to get stuff into your account, And then if you get something that moons, if it's Leo, if it's Hive, then all of a sudden it makes your path that much easier. Because the price of Leo quadrupled, or the price of Hive doubled, or whatever it is. And that's one thing you got to give the Bitcoin maxis credit for. Come hell or high water, they're dedicated to Bitcoin. They stay in Bitcoin. They hodl the living shit out of it. And yeah, it took a lot of years to go from, $100 to 66,000. But you know what? A lot of those people are hodling it today, even though it's at 66,000, because they're going to hold it till it's 150 or 200 or wherever the hell Bitcoin gets to. That's admirable. They're dedicated. Now, you can disagree with them, and I disagree with Bitcoin maxis all the time, but their level of dedication is incredible. Now, Bitcoin's different because you buy it, that's it. You hodl it. Hive's different. Now, if you don't have the resources to buy, get involved.
Get active.
Yeah. And it's like somebody today said, I'm aiming for 100 Leo power. I got my first 10. And he showed his, it's like, great. He showed a screenshot. It's like, keep threading, dive in, keep doing your posting, man. You'll get to 100 Leo power, no problem. Hell, you keep showing up, I'll vote you to 100 Leo power.
Oh, dude, your vote is worth, at least a Leo or a couple, 2 or 3 or 4.
Well, on threads, I only do like 4 or 5%, so I don't even know what that's.
Well, yeah, but it still shows up. Like, I mean, I think it's like a 6 cent, 7 cent, so it's a full Leo when you're doing that. Like,
I don't even know what it is, what I'm giving each time, but whatever. It's like. Some of the people you mentioned, I mean, I'll get in conversation with Tokenize. I'll give them 10 fucking votes. I gave you, I don't know how many votes yet last night. We were talking back and forth. I do that with everybody. It's like, that's probably why half time why people talk to me, but that's okay. That's what you do when you have a lot of stake. Cal does the same thing. And Cal's going through with a hell of a lot more Leo stake than me, or whatever it is. Maybe it's his HP behind the account. I don't know. But either way, he goes through and he's voting all the time. That's what you do. And you spread it around. So get active. So these people who say, I can't get anything, you're not paying attention. Micro earning adds up. because you get enough of these, 0.5 or 0.25 Leos. And I don't know what my boat is worth at 5% in HP, but it's above the dust level, and it adds up.
Yeah.
Because I can give 10 votes at that a day, easy to one person.
Oh, absolutely. Tokenized said it's spreading the rewards around. It is. I upvote everyone. I mean, Tokenized tagged me in a thread today because Mr. Killy asked, "Okay, guys, I don't know much about dog breeds, but if cryptos were cars, what car would be Ethereum?" Tokenized tagged me and said, "Whatever car John Olson hates." So yeah, what would? No, that's actually a fun question. We'll end the show with that. What car would Ethereum be? I would say, and it's not that I hate pit bulls, but I would say Ethereum is a pit bull because it's annoying as heck sometimes, but it's a big dog, and you got to respect it. I don't necessarily like them, but I respect them. Does that make sense? I'd say pit bull. Pit bull? Because it's got a big bite. It's got a big bite. Ethereum's got a big bite. But, yeah.
He said, Django, I don't think he tagged you because Cal asked about affiliate marketers. And should have tagged you on that so you could respond to Cal. Go to Cal's feed.
Buy my stuff. That's affiliate marketing right there. Buy my stuff. I will keep telling you to buy my stuff. Anyway, I'm bitter. I'm not bitter. Great show, man. It's gone down. It's not 41 degrees. Now it's 39 degrees. So we're having the heat wave is dissipating. No, it's not. So I'm going to go and sweat tonight. Thank you guys for listening. Task, I hope you had fun answering the awesome questions from the Maniac community. I had fun.
Yeah, and I see Tokenized in here. He's usually on VIP, so I don't see what he writes now. Not that I can read it, but he's actually talking to himself in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only one writing. I mean, we even lost Eliana. She usually makes fun of at least either you or I, at least once in a show. Yeah. She's probably going and cutting somebody's gallbladder out or something.
Pretty much. Anyways,
she's an interesting one.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on Tuesday. Toodles.
Yeah.